So I believe we are live
Yes.
with our podcast. So hi everyone, this is Tanmay, and today I'll be your
Hello.
host on this podcast. So hello Simanta, who he is our guest on this podcast. So he will
Hello,
be
everybody.
discussing, yeah. So he will be discussing about his experience being 10 years on this AIML domain. But before that, I just wanted to let you know, guys, this thing will happen on Hindi. जस्ट वी वांट टू डू इट ऑन हिंदी सो हम आगे से हिंदी में बात करेंगे एंड हम इस पॉडकास्ट को आगे बढ़ाएंगे सो
We
पहली बात
can
है
we
थैंक
can
यू
do it.
सीमांत
We can do it on English, Hindi and English. It depends.
या चलेगा चलेगा या श्योर सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सीमांत नायक फॉर joining this podcast. I believe you can start with your introduction.
Hello, everyone. I'm Simant Naik. I've been in this industry for around 10 years now. I'm working as a manager and AI solutions architect with Deloitte. And Deloitte is sort of my fifth company. And I've worked in various different industries, be it service based, consulting. I worked two out of four big fours, right? So I've worked in EY and Deloitte. And I'm talking to a person who's with PwC, hopefully one day with PwC and KPMG. Yeah. But yes, coming back to me, I've worked with Tech Mahindra, EY, Deloitte, Dell and Optimize as product-based companies. So I have experience in the client ODC kind of a work environment and a fast-paced product startup kind of environment and big four kind of environments and a very established product-based company like Dell, that kind of environment. So I've seen it all and I'm still exploring yet to learn. And this is me. I'm and coming back, this was me professionally. And if you ask me about me on a personal level, I'm 31 years old. I'm from Odisha, based out of Bangalore. Been in Bangalore since my childhood, and I'm from Orissa. Stayed in Bangalore. I also stayed in Delhi regions and Pune regions. So I've covered east, west, north, south of India. So I'm you can call me a Pakka Indian. So yes, and
Yeah,
apart from that, I speak Hindi, Odia, Kannada. I understand Bengali. I understand Punjabi and Marathi. Yeah, this is me.
great. So I guess thank you Simon for your introduction. So पहले आप हमको ये बताओ आपने बहुत सारे कंपनीज में काम किया है प्रोडक्ट हो गया कंसल्टिंग हो गई एंड सो ऑन सो कैन यू शेयर एक्सपीरियंस अबाउट दैट कि काम पे क्या अलग दिखा आपको इन टर्म्स ऑफ एआईएमएल पे
तन्मय,
आपने जब डेल पे काम किया
आपका वॉइस बीच बीच में अटक रहा है.
ओके एम आई ऑडिबल प्रॉपर्ली नाउ
यस, यस.
या सो आई वाज आस्किंग क्योंकि आपने बहुत सारे कंपनीज में काम किया है राइट अपने 10 साल के वर्क एक्सपीरियंस में आपने प्रोडक्ट एक्सप्लोर किया है आपने कंसल्टिंग एक्सप्लोर किया है राइट आपने जीसीसी से एक्सप्लोर किया होगा सो क्या आप बता सकते हो कि काम अलग कैसे रहता है मतलब हम सबको मशीन लर्निंग आता है एआई आता है राइट हम तो सीख लिए अभी और भी सीख रहे हैं आगे बट काम के बेसिस में क्या अलग होती है इन कंपनीज में तो कैन यू शेयर दैट एक्सपीरियंस ऑल्सो
Right. So Tanmay, let me get one thing straight. So you have mentioned GCC, right? तो
या
GCC जो है वो आजकल चालू हुआ है where companies, big MNCs are creating global capabilities for offshore clients in futuristic domains like AI, ML, and FinOps and cybersecurity. So these are the places where they're establishing their GCCs in India. But मैं जब चालू किया था अपना career with Tech Mahindra, that was a kind of ODC kind of a concept where Tech Mahindra ने ब्रिटिश टेलीकॉम से एक प्रोजेक्ट ले लिया है एंड टेक महिंद्रा अपना अपने ऑफिस में
हम्म
they have created a ODC environment where that entire block belongs to British Telecom or a client. It can be any client,
ग्रेट
right? So
या
all the work we do over there is confidential and strictly focused towards serving that client only. So we don't talk about Tech Mahindra over there. Once we enter the ODC, we are sort of contract employees of British Telecom, but sitting in Tech Mahindra office. So that was one kind of
अंडरस्टूड
environment I worked. So there are all our scrum calls, reporting, everything happens with the client team, right? And we have delivery managers and managers from our end who handle the entire delivery. So this is one
Yeah.
model. And another model I worked in was a startup, right? It was a mid-sized startup. It had 500 employees and its yearly turnover was close to $400 million. And I worked there for 1.5 years. Uh, there, the atmosphere was like I could directly speak to the CEO, and I had. Uh, sorry, I think I'm getting a call. Yeah. So I could speak to the CEO, I could speak to the technical director, and the requirements was pretty clear, and we had strict timelines, and we had to stretch and manage the work over there. But it was a very fun environment, and I got to learn a lot over there. If you ask me,
Great.
my best learning and my motivation to switch into data science came after working in that particular company, right? Before
Great.
that, as you
Yeah.
can see from the podcast name, right, I was a SQL developer. I joined Tech
Yeah.
Mahindra for completely 2.5 to 4 years. I worked as a SQL developer, whereas only optimizing queries, creating PLSQL procedures, functions, basically your backend logics, where all the backend logics were written on the database. And I worked with Microsoft SQL and Oracle SQL, right? So when I came to optimize, right, there also I was a database developer, but we were working with cross-functional teams like your data science teams and ML teams, where our data was playing a big factor deriving their work, right? So
Right.
I sort of understood where I am right now in my career, right? What am I doing? And I think this thing is going to be big coming going forward. And my work, which is a database developer, will diminish going forward. So I got a hint at that time. It was 2019, 18 or 19. That was the time where I had that goal in mind that नहीं मेरे को तो अब बनना है डेटा साइंटिस्ट ही बनना है मेरे को
तब
क्योंकि मैं
मैंने
भी
कॉलेज पे यही
डेटाबेस
बात सोचा था। तब मैं कॉलेज
हाँ
पे था तो मैंने यही बात तब कॉलेज पे जाके सोचा था। आप जॉब
हाँ
करते करते सोच लिए।
तो हाँ तो वही है कि व्हेन आई वाज इन कॉलेज, मेरे अपने कॉलेज डेज विच वाज 2012 टू 16, राइट, ज्यादा
या।
अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं थे जैसे आजकल के स्टूडेंट्स। दे आर हैविंग लॉट्स ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज विद इंटर्नशिप्स।
राइट।
अपने टाइम में इंटर्नशिप ज्यादा नहीं था, एंड प्लस आई वाज फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन बैकग्राउंड, राइट। सो मेरा
या।
अलग ही सीन था, और मैं कॉलेज में hardly I was studying. I was just enjoying engineering and giving exams, studying 1 day or 2 day prior and passing. And that was my engineering. But reality hit me after engineering when once I joined Tech Mahindra. Luckily, I got a campus placement. Once I joined Tech
या।
Mahindra, reality hit me, right? So that was the
हाँ।
time
या।
where I started actually working as a software developer and learning software development concepts, right? Your software development life cycle, how it happens, how everything happens within a software company. That's when I started learning. So if you ask me, my first 4 to 5 years of my career, right, it was mostly learning. So I had to do a re-engineering, right? My 4 years of engineering was fun, and the next 4 years of my first initial 4 years of my corporate career was actually my engineering, where I discovered
राइट।
myself and had a goal. And in the fifth year, right, which is, let's say, after I passed out my first 4 years of second engineering, which is my first 4 years of my career, then realized that what I need to do. And luckily, I'll tell it, luckily, there was COVID that time, right?
ओके।
I know
या।
many people were disrupted during that time. सबका जिंदगी इधर उधर हो गया, दुनिया इधर उधर हो गया। बट अगर कोविड नहीं आता, शायद मैं इतना नहीं पढ़ पाता। This is the reality from my point
या।
of view. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if
या।
anyone
यस।
one has lost their family members or closed ones during COVID.
या।
But this is my point of view that अगर कोविड नहीं होता तो वर्क फ्रॉम होम चालू नहीं होता, और वर्क फ्रॉम होम चालू नहीं होता तो शायद मैं इतना अपने ऊपर काम नहीं कर पाता, राइट?
राइट।
क्योंकि सुबह ऑफिस जाओ, शाम को आओ, फिर पेशेंस नहीं रहता पढ़ने, है ना?
राइट।
तो
करेक्ट। यस।
and I had to hustle a lot. I had to struggle a lot switching from database to data science. The only advantage I had was I was a master of SQL,
ग्रेट।
so I
या।
understood the data. I understood the data using my SQL knowledge. Pandas was a cakewalk for me. So when I started upskilling, right, I started upskilling as a learning Python as a data scientist. So I didn't learn Python like your oops concept and all that. No, I started directly understanding Python. It's list, dictionary, tuple, sets.
Hmm.
वो चालू किया, then
Yeah.
numpy pandas से चालू किया, and then I came into machine
Nice.
learning, right?
तो
So
आपका आपका लाइफ अलग कैसे है, मतलब अभी जैसे आप डेटा साइंस आर्किटेक्ट हो, राइट? जब आप डेटा साइंस पे आए और उसके पहले आप सीक्वल डेवलपर थे, तो लाइफ मतलब डे टू डे लाइफ अलग कैसे हुई, मतलब क्या, मतलब काम वाइज आपको क्या क्या डिफरेंसेस दिखे व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन दैट थिंग?
देखो, काम वाइज तो अभी मेरा एक्सपीरियंस तब अलग था, अब अलग है। अब उस टाइम आई
या,
वाज इन द एंटायर शैडोज बिहाइंड द सीन्स. नाउ आई एम
या,
डायरेक्टली क्लाइंट फेसिंग. I talk to clients, not only development, but also I do a lot of baketi in Hindi, right? I do a lot of
यस,
talking and
यप,
selling and technical works, and also sometimes I have to listen to crap what non-technical folks tell, right? So this is what is my current role. So if you ask me right now, it's more challenging because apart from the work which I have, right, I also have to manage people. So people management is something that I'm getting used to, and it's very tough. It's very tough because everyone are different, right? You can't treat everyone as the same. So when you're a developer,
राइट,
you know you're working with some language, and you'll get this language has its own limitations, and you'll get certain sort of bugs or errors, right? But when you're managing people and this, right, I feel coding is very easy, but when you're managing people and you have a team working with you, and you're sort of guiding that team or working with that team where you're the lead over there, so that time the entire team's performance comes on your head, right? And that time it's very tough. You can't even point fingers at everyone. That gets the team morale down. So it's different. It's different. Like nowadays, my mindset is uh, people first, product later. Earlier, it was just get the code running. ये bug कब fix होगा? So this is the difference.
राइट, राइट,
Yeah.
एग्जैक्टली। तो अभी यही बात है कि जैसे आप सीक्वल डेवलपर से स्विच किए डेटा साइंस डोमेन पे, राइट? सो अभी ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो सेम पोजीशन पे है, मतलब कोई डेटा एनालिस्ट था जिसको डेटा साइंटिस्ट बनना है, या फिर कोई शायद डेटा इंजीनियर तो उसको आज का डेटा साइंटिस्ट बनना है, बिकॉज अभी के कंपनीज की रिक्वायरमेंट आपको भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है कि डेटा साइंटिस्ट को सब कुछ आना चाहिए। ही हैज टू नो डेटा इंजीनियरिंग, ही हैज टू नो डेटा एनालिसिस, he has to know SQL development and everything, right? अभी expectation ऐसा हो गया है। तो how do you suggest them to get into, because आपने खुद भी स्विच किया है, so what kind of mindset change needed, या फिर क्या आपने अनलर्न किया और क्या आपने रीलर्न किया, और वो माइंडसेट वो ग्राउंड पे रह के खुद के अंदर चेंजेस लाना इस फील्ड को लेके? सो थोड़ा इफ यू कैन सजेस्ट दैट वुड बी ग्रेट फॉर योर ऑडियंस।
ठीक है. So first of all the students watching this who are still in engineering college, who are still going to get graduated in another 2 3 years, get your basic right. Right, you're not going to become a data scientist because that job is going to die soon, to be honest, right? Industry is
राइट,
not going to have data scientists going forward, but you need to understand the core concepts of data science because आजकल के जो जेन एआई एंड एजेंटिक एआई भी चल रहा है ना, राइट? सो you're going to become one of that. If you're going in that field, you're going to become a AI developer or a LLM developer,
राइट।
or start working on deep neural networks maybe. Or if you're going to research field, that's a different case, right? But
या
in general,
इवन मेरे को खुद को भी याद है, मैंने 3.5 साल 3.6 ईयर पहले करियर स्टार्ट किया था। आई वाज एमएल इंजीनियर। अभी आई
right,
एम शोइंग माई सेल्फ एआई इंजीनियर। इट्स नॉट एट ऑल
right,
एमएल ना, नो वन टॉक्स अबाउट दैट टर्म। इट्स लाइक
right,
जेन एआई डेवलपर और एआई इंजीनियर, दिस इज हाउ वी आर ट्रीटेड नाउअडेज। इवन
right.
ओनली 3.5 4 साल के gap में चेंजेस हो गया है।
Right. And nowadays, I think you would have heard terms like harness engineer,
हाँ,
prompt engineer
यस,
is already like 2 years back, I heard a new term, prompt engineer, and now it's already dead. So this is
या,
the
राइट,
trajectory,
या,
right? And there's something known as forward deployed engineer.
या,
And
रिसेंटली इट केम अप, यस, या,
yeah, so all these things are coming up. These are all fancy terms, but core फंडा ये है कि आप एक अच्छे, अगर आपको डेटा साइंस और एमएल का कोर फंडा समझ में आता है, यू कैन ग्रो इन दिस फील्ड. वरना आप एक सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर भी बन सकते हो, राइट? वेयर एंड LLM engineering is a blend of ML and software engineering because eventually we are talking with some services, right? be it REST services or some third party tools where we are communicating via MCP server or direct
API
gRPC use
calling.
करके, right? API calling. So you
Yeah.
are doing software engineering work along with minimal AI work, right? So आजकल ये scene हो गया है. So if you ask me to guide someone from a industry point of view, I'll tell them मत पढ़ो, मत टाइम
Okay.
वेस्ट करो पांडास नमपाई पे. बट इफ यू आस्क मी ऑन अ पर्सनल लेवल कि यार इनको ना कोर समझाना चाहिए, ताकि अगर कल को जाके कुछ चेंज हो जाता है ये हिलेगा नहीं, डेटा
Right.
फाउंडेशन हिलेगा नहीं. एआई गायब हो
Right.
सकता है, बट एआई इज बिल्ट ऑन व्हाट? इज बिल्ट ऑन ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स. ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स इज बिल्ट ऑन व्हाट? कन्वोल्यूशनल न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स, राइट? वो दैट
Right.
इज नथिंग बट डीप न्यूरल नेट.
Deep
उसके लिए
learning.
आपको
Yes.
आरएनएन, एएनएन,
ANN,
सीएनएन सब
CNN पढ़ना
समझना
पड़ेगा.
पड़ेगा.
Right.
तो
Yes.
आप अगर उस लेवल पे जा रहे हो तो आपको मैट्रिक्स, सिंपल चीज, आपका मैट्रिक्स मल्टीप्लिकेशन, मैट्रिक्स कैलकुलेशन, योर डिकम्पोजिशन, आइगन वैल्यू से क्या बनता है, पीसीए वगैरह सब जानते हो. तो दीज आर
Right.
ऑल द फंडामेंटल्स दैट यू नीड टू नो, राइट? एंड व्हेनेवर यू आर लर्निंग, लर्न लाइक अ लेमैन, है ना? फंडामेंटल्स को समझना चाहिए, ना कि आपको कोडिंग आता है, आप एक जुपिटर नोटबुक ओपन किए, आप मस्त अपना पाइथन में थोड़ा बहुत खेल लिए, और फिर आप पीडी डॉट रीड सीएसवी करके फिर उसको ट्रेन टेस्ट स्प्लिट कर दिए, फिर या उसको स्केलिंग कर दिए, स्टैंडर्ड स्केलर यूज कर दिए, मिन मैक्स स्केलर यूज कर दिए, उसको ट्रेन पे स्प्लिट
Right.
कर दिए, ट्रेन को फिर
Yeah.
ट्रांसफॉर्म किए, और टेस्ट को ट्रांसफॉर्म किया, और टेस्ट को प्रेडिक्ट करके भाई अपना निकाल लिए एक्यूरेसी, लाइक व्हाट इज माय एरर, व्हाट इज माय मीन स्क्वायर एरर एंड ऑल दैट. ऐसे मत करो ये. दिस इज योर एंटायर फ्लो, but you need to understand why you're doing something. Now this example which I told was a logistic regression ka example, right?
Yeah.
You need to
Hmm.
understand why, when you're reading data, what are its independent features, what are you targeting, what is the goal of this data, what features are important, what features are relevant, how you can make all the features come to a same page. That's your normalization and scaling, right? You're normalizing. You have text columns, you have numerical columns. You need to get everything to a same page. Basically the machine understands only new numbers, right? So everything needs to come down to one particular uh, level, so we get it to a normalized numerical level. So why we are doing certain steps, and after that why you're training, and on then you have your validation test, validation and test set, and then why you're doing fit, why you're doing fit transform, what is the difference, ये सब समझना चाहिए. So once you understand each and everything, then only you'll become a good data scientist. If you directly just start coding, you'll only know it high level, और आप सब इंटरव्यू में फंसोगे. Because
Right. Yes.
when we have certain experience, when we take interviews, we go in depth, we don't scratch the surface level. So understand each and everything fundamentally. So you have to learn like a layman. Think you don't know coding, try to understand क्या है लीनियर रिग्रेशन, क्या है लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन, बिफोर दैट क्या है सुपरवाइज लर्निंग, क्या है अनसुपरवाइज लर्निंग, व्हाट इज अ ह्यूमन फीडबैक, योर RHLF, right? So all these things you need to understand, and then you go into broader spectrums. But before starting all this, अपना मैथ्स ठीक कर लो सब लोग, मैट्रिक्स अलजेब्रा,
Yeah. Maths is
है ना?
very important, especially matrix का concept तो जिंदगी भर
स्टैटिस्टिक
काम पे आएगा.
स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड मैट्रिक्स का जो पूरा कोर फंडा है वो आपका क्लियर होना चाहिए. स्टैटिस्टिक्स में सब कुछ, इवन प्रोबेबिलिटी, इससे आप समझते हो, है ना?
Right.
डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या है, कैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बनता है, सब कुछ आप समझते हो. तो दीज आर द थिंग्स व्हिच आई विल गाइड अ न्यू किड ऑन द ब्लॉक टुडे हु इज ट्राइंग टू
Sure.
लर्न समथिंग, to do it this way, even though I know they are not going to use that in their career, but you need to know all this. मैं आज नहीं यूज करता हूँ ये सब, मैं अलग ही चीज पे काम कर रहा हूँ, बट ये चीज मेरे को बहुत हेल्प करता है कहीं ना कहीं,
Right.
जिससे आपको
So yeah.
हाँ हाँ, tell me, you tell me something.
या सो आई आस्किंग, अगर एक नया बच्चा सीख रहा है उसके लिए तो ये हो गया रोड मैप। पर अगर कोई बंदा है जो ऑलरेडी इनटू दिस डोमेन है, जैसे मैंने बोला कोई डेटा इंजीनियर है या फिर कोई
हम्म,
डेटा एनालिस्ट है जो ऑलरेडी इसको डेटा का
हम्म,
नॉलेज है, उसने
हम्म,
डैशबोर्ड्स बनाई है, उसको केपीआईस पता है, उसने बिजनेस से भी बात करना आता है, उसको टर्म्स पता है, पर उसको
हम्म।
डेटा साइंस पे आना है। एज आई सेड कि अभी डेटा साइंस के जॉब रोल पे आपको सब कुछ ही आना चाहिए, ऑलमोस्ट दिस इज द एक्सपेक्टेशन नाउअडेज। तो उसके लिए क्या अलग होगा जो शायद कोई फ्रेशर फॉलो नहीं करेगा, वैसा कुछ?
See, as a data engineer, you already know you know you'll most probably be knowing Python and PySpark also. So you have
या
some edge,
राइट।
right? And since you're a data engineer, you need to target jobs that are data scientist, but using a data engineering platform like MS Fabric, Databricks, where your PySpark will come in handy, right? So
राइट, यस।
that is where you should be targeting. You don't go into the normal data science job, but you target within that field, because as a data engineer, you're creating pipelines, your system to feed data to a data machine learning stream, right? So you can easily move towards there. The only thing is, internally try to do it first. Don't directly give interviews and go outside, because it'll be very tough. Internally, talk to your managers, talk to your leads, try doing some POC in that field, where you can do a cross functional team, right? You have machine learning engineers, sit with them, understand what they're doing, try to mimic it from your end. You'll have access to notebooks because you're a data engineer, right? You'll be
राइट।
creating notebooks using PySpark for data cleaning. You already know data cleaning, data pre-processing. You just have to understand feature engineering, and you're almost there, but you're not there. So it's a bit easier for you compared to a student. But if you want to go into the fields of AI, then you have to start preparing from scratch, where you need to understand the core concepts of transformers. You need to understand encoders, decoders, theoretically at least. फिर you need to understand tokenization, NLP का basics आना चाहिए, है ना? TF-IDF, BM25 क्या है, कैसे एक वर्ड, एक एम्बेडिंग के जर्नी, वर्ड टू एम्बेडिंग का जो जर्नी है, वर्ड टू वेक या
वर्ड
सीक्वेंस टू
टू वेक,
सीक्वेंस,
टाइप्स ऑफ वर्ड टू वेक, वो भी जानना चाहिए, राइट? या
you need to understand all that. Once you know all that, you can start dwelling into rags, LLMs, understanding the entire rag pipeline, कैसे ingestion होता है, कैसे retrieval होता है, क्या क्या nuances है, क्या क्या drawbacks है of each and every other systems. And then you build sample POCs. You building POC for AI is Gen AI is very easy, because you already have some
या
PDFs.
यस,
कुछ नहीं मिला तो attention is
करेक्ट,
all you need, उठा लो, राइट?
यस।
उसको तोड़ के उसको वेक्टर डीबी में डाल के उससे बातचीत चालू कर दो. Once you can do that much, you can do bigger tasks also, and then you have many repos online. You can just learn and start. And one more thing I have done a lot, I won't suggest everyone to do, but you can do. If you're trying to migrate from one field to another, for example, I had to migrate from database to data science, right? You need to do a bit of
या
fake it till you make it, right? You need to
यस,
lie a bit on your resume, right? You need to do something on a personal level and show it that you have done it on a industrial level. Because once you start working in an industry, right, once you start working in a agile ecosystem, you know how the data flows, you know how everything happens. Maybe you are from a data engineering team, but you're seeing how the ML team works, right? So you can fake some of the experiences, just mimicking them, if you're confident enough. So that is one more technique, nuske, which I can suggest to folks. But that is very high risk and high rewarding. So if you're going to go that path, you need to defend your claims. So be ready for that, and you
राइट।
have to prepare accordingly.
या सो आपने अभी जैसे रैग वगैरह मेंशन किया, तो सो फार जो मैंने अभी तक, मेरा आपसे हाफ हाफ एक्सपीरियंस भी नहीं है अभी के लिए, बट सो फार आई एम आल्सो वर्किंग ऑन जेन एआई स्पेसिफिकली। और मेरा टाइम शायद एक साल मशीन लर्निंग पे गया है, उसके बाद तो जेन एआई आ गया था मार्केट में। सो आई स्टार्टेड अपस्किलिंग ऑन दैट पार्ट। तो वांटेड टू नो दैट व्हाट डू थिंक अबाउट द आरएजी और द मल्टी एजेंटी सिस्टम दैट वी टॉक अबाउट। अभी क्या हो गया ना कि सबको एजेंटिक सिस्टम बनानी है, और हमको ये बात पता है कि हर कुछ में डोंट नीड एजेंटिक, हर कुछ में डोंट नीड अ रैक। मतलब अगर कोई काम सिंपल पैथन लॉजिक से हो ही जाता है तो क्यों उसमें जेन घुसाना है? नहीं चाहिए, राइट? सो बट मैंने जो नोटिस किया है कि हर जगह इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस वी वर्क ऑन रैक ओनली, आरएजी ओनली। कि उधर कोई चैटबॉट बनाया, उसमें 50 डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, 50 फॉर्मेटिंग है वगैरह, राइट? तो आपको क्या लगता है कि ये जो आरएजी है एंड ये जो मल्टी एजेंट सिस्टम को लेकर हम बात करते हैं, सो डू यू थिंक इनका फ्यूचर कहाँ तक है? व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दैट?
देखो, फ्यूचर का तो मैं नहीं बता सकता, क्योंकि जो चीज एक साल पहले था वो आज नहीं है। एंड
राइट, या,
अभी भी आई थिंक देयर इज समथिंग नोन एज वेक्टरलेस रैग, वेयर
यस,
रैग
पेज
का जो
इंडेक्स,
कोर फंडा, यस, जो वेक्टर डीबीज है वो उसी को ही हटाने का बातचीत चल रहा है, एंड पीपल आर स्टार्टिंग टू डू दैट, राइट?
yeah,
सो देयर इज
but it was
समथिंग
a
नोन
quite
एज
expensive method which I have explored about page index, how it works. It's a pretty expensive LLM cost method. I think companies agree करेगी नहीं उसको यूज करने में, क्योंकि बहुत
ड्राफ्ट।
पैसा का मामला है उसमें.
Your Gen AI and agentic AI projects, right? They are
Yeah.
also very expensive compared to your software
Yeah,
engineering and your
yeah, that's
uh,
definitely, yeah. True, true.
robotic
Yes.
RPA, right?
Yep.
RPA क्या था?
Yeah.
Automated processes, right? So people
Correct. Yeah.
should not confuse agentic AI with automation. So
Right.
people tell,
Yes.
I have automated this stuff, that stuff using agents. You're not automating. If you're automating, then you can do it using Python code.
Correct. Yes.
You
Right.
can do it using Python code. लॉजिक्स लगाओ, ऑटोमेट करो, है ना? क्योंकि क्लियर सेट ऑफ
Right.
इंस्ट्रक्शंस है। व्हेन यू नीड अ एजेंट, व्हेन यू नीड सम सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंकिंग, सम सॉर्ट ऑफ एक्शन, right? It
Right.
should react. That's why there are words like react and review, right?
React.
So
Yes. Correct.
it
Yeah.
should respond and act, should reason, right? It should first understand the entire flow, and then it can act accordingly. It can call multiple systems based on the requirement, right? So that's where when we have tool calling, MCPs, and then agents. So whenever you have this kind of a use case where you need a system that understands a problem statement and then it can act accordingly, there are multiple paths. It may do multiple calls. It can do parallel calls. It can do sequential calls. It can do anything based on a context, and the next question or a next context will have a different route. So that is when we need to go towards the agentic system. And then you ask me, what is a multi-agent system and why can't one single agent have multiple tools doing the same work? See, one agent is nothing but some Python code running on top of a LLM. So basically your LLM is working. LLM has a brain, right?
Right.
LLM has its own limitations, which is your context window.
Correct.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
everything is growing. You have 1 million context window. Maybe in another 6 months, there'll be 2 million context window. है ना? But the larger the context window, the larger the probability to hallucinate.
Or
If you
yes. Right.
understand transformers, right?
Even
The
data is
larger,
also growing. Even input data is also growing. If you see, that is
correct,
also growing. Even though
correct,
it's now 2 million, now your input data will be like 1 million also nowadays. Data is growing rapidly, anyways. Yeah.
correct. So any context window, it has its own
Yeah.
limitations. You can't go more than a certain limit. And then even if you fit everything to that 1 million context window, na, there is a good chance that 4 lakh to 5 lakh context in between na, is lost. The relevance of that context is lost. So that's why we never try to fill
Correct.
it up, right? So that's the thing. You need to understand that if there is one agent calling 10 tools, these 10 tools eventually this agent will take some context, it will call those 10 tools, and these 10 tools will respond with some JSON. It can be a large JSON, small JSON. All these JSONs will go back to the agent, and now the agent is confused. करना क्या है इसका? ये सब का
Right. Yes.
तीन चार टूल्स का रेस्पॉन्स वो समझ गया, बाकी सब वो भूल गया। उसका भी एक
Yeah, right.
मेमोरी
With
स्पैन
a
है, राइट?
lot of context to remind, that is the problem. अगर 10 टूल नहीं
विद
डाल
इन,
सकते, 2-3 टूल ही डाल सकते, बस स्पेसिफिक यूज केस.
हाँ, so one agent with 2 or 3 tool calls, but in the similar nature. Now अगर आप एक टूल कॉल कर रहे हो जो आप एक सर्विस नाउ को कॉल कर रहे हो या फॉर इंसिडेंट रिक्वेस्ट या चेंज रिक्वेस्ट, वो ठीक है, बट आप सर्विस नाउ को भी कॉल कर रहे हो और सैप को भी कॉल कर रहे हो, तो
Right.
एक ही एजेंट अगर ये दो चीज कर रहा है, कर सकता है, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं कर सकता है, बट अगर कर रहा है तो डिफरेंट नेचर ऑफ डेटा को एक साथ ला रहा है, तो दैट क्रिएट्स मोर कंफ्यूजन. सो यू नीड टू separate out that also, and hence the multi-agentic framework is there, है ना? And
Yep.
now coming
Right.
to YRAG. YRAG
Mhm.
always requirement नहीं है RAG का. If there is a large knowledge base which you need to access, and the knowledge base keeps changing frequently, That's the time where you need to use RAG, right? Where you
Right.
ingest the entire knowledge base into some vector DB, and then you can query over it. But if you have a single PDF and you're updating on the fly, नो नीड अ रैग, डायरेक्टली उसको कॉन्टेक्स्ट में डालो. एक पीडीएफ 50 पेज का 50,000 60,000 टोकन्स लेके बैठ रहा होगा, विच इज अ वेरी स्मॉल कंपेयर टू आजकल के कॉन्टेक्स्ट विंडो, राइट? सो वो पूरा
Right.
पीडीएफ एज अ कॉन्टेक्स्ट भी जा सकता है ना? इफ दैट इज द केस, डोंट यूज रैग एट ऑल, डायरेक्टली पीडीएफ को अपलोड करो एलएलएम के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में एंड स्टार्ट आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस, वो आंसर करेगा परफेक्टली फाइन, है ना? एंड
Right.
now, in some cases, some banking or legal or these sort of industries, right? They prefer their own tone. They have their own conditions and own
Own
set of
fine-tuned
rules.
version, we can say, right?
Right.
Own fine-tuned
No,
version, we
why are
can
we
say.
fine tuning? Because we have to cater to specific requirements, and they have fixed set of data. Let's say data
Y-
as in knowledge, which doesn't change frequently. Because if it changes, you have to retrain, right? And it's a
Yeah.
costly affair. So that is when you take a pre-trained model, let's any LLM or any model, and
Mm-hmm.
you train on it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
fine tune it, you train it, you adjust the weights based on your requirement. So there are three to
Correct.
four techniques what you can do. So not always blindly go towards RAG, but yes, if you understand the concepts of RAG end to end, you are 50% there as a good Gen AI developer.
Right. So आपने जैसे डेटाबेस से डेटा साइंस पे आप डेवलपमेंट किया अपने लाइफ में करियर पे एंड अभी आर्किटेक्ट लेवल पे हो राइट सो हाउ हाउ आई मीन how is your life, I mean how to work on such architecture that you are building right now? Companies के लिए आपने architectures बनाई है, client के लिए architectures बनाया है, right? So उसका कैसा प्रोसेस है, हाउ लाइक थॉट प्रोसेस कैसा रहता है ऐसे या आर्किटेक्ट, क्योंकि एज एन डेवलपमेंट वाला पार्ट इज वेरी डिफरेंट, राइट? पहले तो आर्किटेक्चर बनाना होता है कि इस यूज केस को इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को बनाएंगे कैसे, हाउ इट विल फ्लो, एंड हमको एक चीज पता है कि एक फ्लो से तो होता नहीं है, पहले हम एक अप्रोच ट्राई करेंगे, इफ दैट वर्क्स गुड, नहीं काम किया तो उसके ऊपर कुछ चेंजेस करेंगे, राइट? So how does it happen as an architect level? Can you share that experience with us?
Right. So as a developer, you have fixed set of instructions, right? You have a goal, you have functional
Yeah,
requirements, what you need to build, right?
yeah,
You have some sprints
yes,
which you need to deliver within, right?
right.
And most of your high level logic is already designed. So you just follow that path, you write the code as per your style, and आजकल तो Claude ही लिख रहा है सब कुछ.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust anyone who tells I write their entire code, because if you're writing your entire code, you're not productive
Yeah,
as per the
correct.
industry
Yes, it will take
standard
a lot
today.
of time to write an entire code for sure.
And another tip I'll give to the before continuing with my how what about AI architect. I remembered a previous question which you asked, right? कि क्या
Yeah,
टिप दूंगा मैं आजकल के यंग यंग कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स को, कि
yeah,
बॉस ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट मत करो कोडिंग सीख के. ये बहुत कम दिन का मेहमान है. अंडरस्टैंड द कोडिंग, बट ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट मत करो. इसलिए आई टोल्ड अंडरस्टैंड द फंडामेंटल्स, अंडरस्टैंड हाउ
yes,
एवरीथिंग हैपेंस. ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट मत करो पाइथन लिख लिख के, वो अपने आप हो ही जाता है ना? और
right,
आज के डेट में तन्मय हो या मैं हो, वी हार्डली राइट मोर देन 5 to 10 लाइन्स अ डे.
right. कुछ बग
लेकिन
फिक्सेस
हम
के लिए
लोग
वही टाइप कोड.
हम लोग के
That's
साइड
it.
से 1,000 लाइन्स एक दिन में जाता है. मर्ज रिक्वेस्ट
Correct.
पीआर में ना, जब हम पीआर रेस करते
Yes,
हैं ना, कम से कम 1,000 लाइन हम लोग का नाम से अपडेट होता है. बट हम लोग नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम लोग रिव्यू कर रहे हैं. हम लोग को पता है
correct. Yeah,
ये चीज किधर है, क्या है, ये क्या करता है, अच्छा ये इधर लिखा है, तो क्लॉड तू कर, बाकी मैं देख लूंगा. सो अंडरस्टैंड
right.
कोडिंग, but don't waste a lot of time and entire days and days just behind coding. It depends on your journey. If you want to become a hardcore back-end developer, full stack developer, you have to know it, right? कल को जाके क्लॉड अगर अपना बोरिया बिस्तर बांध के निकल गया, क्या करोगे?
Stuff.
तो
Right.
but
Yes.
but it's given, it's going to diminish a developer's work a lot, right? And even a
True.
pure developer nowadays is sitting and debugging Claude code.
Right.
So this is one more tip I'll give everyone. Everyone start using any sort of coding assistant like your Codex, Claude. This is a good investment rather than going to nightclubs. A
I
nightclub in
do
a
that
day,
every night.
nightclub in a day will exhaust you of 3 to 4K. A Claude code ka package for month, it will last you for 2,500 rupees, 23 to $25,
Right.
which is a very good
Yes.
investment, of a smart investment. एक दिन मत जाओ यार नाइट क्लब, ठीक है, एक दिन, बाकी अगले वीकेंड से जाओ, enjoy, open stop you.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
so, and now coming back to my architect, how it is different and how I
Yeah.
plan, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, as an architect ना, आपको ना
Mm.
पहले यूजर का रिक्वायरमेंट समझना चाहिए, और फिर आपको ये डिसाइड करना चाहिए कि क्या वर्थ इट है ये चीज आगे लेके जाने का। इज इट वर्थ इट? क्या मैं सामने वाले को जस्टिफाई कर पाऊंगा उसका नीड के हिसाब से? अगर नहीं तो मुंह पे बोलो नहीं। अगर हो सकता है, देन यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग ऑन हाउ यूल create the entire system. But first, you don't think about the system. You started thinking as a critic कि इसमें रिस्क क्या इन्वॉल्व है, इस पे कंप्लायंस क्या ब्रेक हो सकता है, मैं अगर ये सिस्टम बनाऊंगा तो मेरा सिस्टम इनको किस तरीके से भारी पड़ सकता है, इनका वाट
Right.
कैसे लगा सकता है, इनका पॉकेट
Correct.
कैसे ढीला कर सकता है।
Right.
If I'm
Yes.
building a, say I am a AI solutions architect. I am
Yeah.
not a, software level architect where I design the entire uh, framework level uh, code, right? So
Right.
अपना जो है mostly it revolves around token economics, है ना? अगर I'm building any agentic system or a Gen AI chatbot, तो जो ओनर है, जो क्लाइंट है, उनका बजट क्या है इन टर्म्स ऑफ टोकन, इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंफ्रा, उनका करंट इंफ्रा है या हम लोग को इंफ्रा बनाना है? अगर उनका करंट
Mm.
इंफ्रा है, या उनका कुछ ईआरपी टूल्स है, एक्सटर्नल टूल्स है जिनसे हम लोग बात करेंगे, तो उनका क्या कंप्लायंस है, उनका क्या रिस्क है, सब कुछ फैक्टर इन करके, डॉक्यूमेंट करके, देयर आर मल्टीपल कॉल्स दैट वी हैव विद द स्टेक होल्डर्स एंड अंडरस्टैंड, and then we understand the as is process if any system needs to be converted to agentic, right? So we need to understand कि आज के डेट में ह्यूमन उसको कैसे कर रहा है।
Mm. Right.
तो ह्यूमन का पूरा जो चीज एफर्ट जा रहा है, थॉट प्रोसेस जा रहा है, वो भी समझना है, ताकि वी कैन डिजाइन प्रॉम्प्ट्स अकॉर्डिंगली, है ना?
Correct.
So there is, these are the steps we need to follow, and then we sort of list down all the requirements, क्या क्या करना चाहिए, the functional requirements that developers see, and then we also have non-functional requirements that are not the product but the byproduct of all the products and the metrics like your latency. फिर सिस्टम तो मैं भी बना दूंगा, चैटबॉट कोई भी बना देगा, बट
Mm.
चैटबॉट का एफिकेसी कितना है, लेटेंसी कितना होना चाहिए, उसका P99 क्या होना चाहिए, अप टाइम कितना होना चाहिए, कितना, एंड अगर आउटेज है तो आउटेज का क्या रिस्क है, एंड व्हाट आर द फॉल बैक मैकेनिज्म्स ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, ये सब सोचना है। तो आर्किटेक्ट नॉट ओनली थिंग्स टू बिल्ड बट ऑल्सो थिंग्स आफ्टर बिल्डिंग व्हाट विल हैपन इफ समथिंग गोज रॉन्ग, and what
Yeah.
wrong my
Right.
product can do. So you need to think all these and then put it all into a single brain, and with the help of Claude, you need to. This is how an architect functions as of date.
Great.
And
So
apart
mostly
from
it's
all this,
about, yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
apart from all this, you need to also build a POC. And once you're done building a POC, you have your team, and you can delegate the work to the team, to the development team, and then they can go ahead and do their work. You can also collaborate with them and start working if you want to be relevant with the coding and individual contributorship. But at one point you have to let go of that and only stick to code reviews. That is when you become 15 or 20 years experience, right? That time you generally stop coding because the current generation are very fast, and you need to sort of understand, okay, the current lot can do better work than you. So ये होता
Right.
है कि like how Tendulkar had to retire for Virat Kohli to come in, right? So Tendulkar नहीं बोला कि मैं गॉड हूं तो मैं जिंदगी भर खेलूंगा, नहीं. So as an architect also, you need to understand when you need to stop coding for the
Right.
next
Yes.
generation or the youngsters to take up that space and they can deliver it better. But you can guide them, and like I said, right, they'll only think about building. You have to think about what will happen if things go wrong. So that's when you come in as an architect.
Right, right, great. I guess we are almost at the end of our podcast timing. So, any final thoughts or any final suggestion for the experienced folks as well as freshers?
Okay. For the experienced folks, I'll just tell you that एक ही मंत्र है, लर्न एंड अनलर्न. जो आपने पिछले 10 साल सीखे हो, शायद वो अगला 5 साल के अंदर गायब हो जाए. तो यू नीड टू बी वेरी क्विक इन लर्निंग एंड अनलर्न, बिकॉज योर ह्यूमन ब्रेन हैज अ लिमिटेड रैम, राइट? So you can't keep everything stored. You have to summarize, and you need to move ahead, and you need to keep learning. One drawback of being an AI engineer or in this space, right? आप 50 साल के भी हो जाओगे ना, आपको पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा. बिना पढ़ के आप नहीं बढ़ सकते फील्ड में.
True,
आप
true. That
एक्सपर्ट
is
कभी
very
नहीं बन
true.
सकते. So for example, I'll tell you, Tanmay has been
Yeah.
working with AI and Gen AI for the last 3 years. I have been working with Gen AI for the last 2 years. तो Gen AI में देखा
Uh,
जाए तो I have less experience than Tanmay, है
yeah,
ना?
right. True, true, true.
But then I have seen the industry more, and with that experience, these 2 years of learning, I think, is more valuable than what Tanmay gets to the table, है ना? तो
Right.
उस हिसाब से the companies also see you. You may know less than like as a senior folk, right? You may know less than a person who's just come in from college. They know these technologies more than you, but the industry experience that you get in, the entire ecosystems experience that you get in, along with the basics, right, is more valuable than completely just that. Because as I said, right, systems are not built for by just developers. There is a very large ecosystem that keeps the system uh, in place. And mostly if things go wrong, right, you there are things that happen behind the scenes which don't reach the developer also. So these things happen, and that is when your experience comes in. So this is for your experience, all the experienced folks who are there listening in. Like, keep learning, keep hustling. Don't feel that you're out of touch, because if you have that mindset of learning, you and don't give up no matter what. Even if you are 15 years into the industry and you feel that अरे आजकल के बच्चे तो मेरे से भी ज्यादा कमा रहे हैं, ठीक है, कमा रहे हैं, बट आप ऑलरेडी अपना बेस्ट दे चुके हो. अभी रीइन्वेंट तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते, बट
Right.
डोंट गिव अप, डोंट लूज होप, एंड keep continuing, keep hustling. This is what I would like to end this uh, session with. If you have any more
All right.
questions for me, I can take it up.
Yeah, so I believe we do not have any question in our chat forum. So I believe we can end our podcast then. I guess thank you, Simant, for joining our podcast. We'll catch up again.
Thank you, Tanmay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.